I like to think school was great. I got good grades. I did cross country for 4 years. This all proved very useful in outrunning my dreaded student loans. But seriously, how do you know if college is a great investment for you? If you stay to the end, I will tell you how to invest to change the rest of your life. But first, please hit that like and subscribe for more investing ideas down below. Also, I'm not a financial advisor, so please speak with a professional, who is not me. I'm not an expert. Now, here are the top 5 investments for college students. One of the biggest investments I had ever made in my life is choosing a major that was very practical, while also pursuing things that I found fulfilling creatively. One of them paid for my bills, and one of them gave me another reason to continue paying for bills. I hate telling people to choose a degree solely based on money, but it really depends. If you are going tens of thousands into debt at a private college, then in that case you need to get a well-paying major just to pay off your student loans. It's really based on your situation. On the flip side, if you are having college paid for, you can do what you want. However, if there's a major that has studies in the title, it is more than likely not a good career path to go down unless you like teaching that major to future students. And often you can get the same knowledge by spending a few days in the library reading the same textbooks as the studies student. Just ask them for what's on their syllabus and read those books. There's a lot of talk about what you should choose, whether you should choose passion or money, but in my opinion, passion is something that is learned. You can be passionate about any subject, but you don't know what you're going to be passionate about until you learn more about that subject. The best return on investment in a college degree is mostly about graduating early. Every week you delay graduating is on average roughly $700 to $1,000 that you didn't make working. Also, in addition to that, each semester in school is $10,000, or roughly $700 per week. Now the numbers might be different from you, but this is just a rough estimate. That's a total of $1,700 per week that you would be making had you graduated already and started working. So if you want to make $30,000 as a college student, just take extra classes and take AP tests while in high school. But saving every penny to invest in the future isn't a good way to live. I remember sitting in my dorm room thinking, should I go out to eat with friends or stay at home and eat ramen? I missed a lot of opportunities and even thought I saved a lot of money because of it. I would not recommend doing that again to my past self. I would set aside a few $100s strictly for social events and to be with others, so don't be a penny pincher. The next step is to open a Roth IRA. I opened my first Roth IRA sophomore year of college, and it's very easy to do. Just go to Fidelity or Charles Schwab and Google Open an IRA. You will reap extreme tax benefits for the rest of your life for the money that you invest in, if you invest it wisely. Again, seek professional counseling if you don't know what you're doing. I am not an expert. Since you pay taxes when you put the money in, you never have to pay any taxes on the stock gains. And you can take what you initially invested out at any time. It's best to maximize your contribution to $6,000 each and every year while you still can, because after a certain amount of time, as you make enough money, you are not allowed to invest any more into it, and it is a huge missed opportunity for millions of people. But you're probably asking yourself, what's the difference between a Roth IRA and setting up your own investment account? Now, there are significant differences, but what it all boils down to is you will save tens of thousands over the course of 30 to 35 years in taxes. And if you ever want to start a business later, you can take what you initially invested out without paying any additional taxes or penalties. That's really important if you are young, because you will want to start a business someday. But who in their right mind would start a business? It's risky, expensive, difficult, and sometimes impossible. Not to mention the success rate is bordering on 2%. Who in their right mind would start a business when you have a normal job offer on the table? The best way to start a business is to realize all of the reasons why businesses fail and create a business plan that avoids it. Oftentimes, it's best to do both. Get a normal job offer and start a business on the side. Now, what you don't want to do is open up your own restaurant. It takes a lot of money, there's no guarantee of sales, competition is everywhere, and they will spend millions of dollars just to drive you, and you alone, out of business. Payroll is easily tens of thousands per month. Just do something else as your first business venture. A much better business model is inventing things, but I'll get to that later. The first step to creating a good business is deciding on a very profitable product. which you can then advertise, preferably online. Then, once you start selling enough of them, find a way to mass produce it instead of creating it on your own. This will give you enough time to optimize the product instead of spending your time doing manual labor creating the product. Then, you want to use the proceeds from selling it to make the best product and create a Mark II of that product, because there are people coming for you to compete. Not to mention, you want to improve the life of your customers and keep the customers you already have to make sure you maintain market share. Once you have enough proceeds, then you want to pay your employees if you have any, and then you and the shareholders should be the last to be paid, because your employees and your customers are what make the business function, not you. But before you can do any of that, it's best to build on a good financial foundation, so that if hypothetically you do fail, you won't lose everything in bankruptcy. And then you can start again and learn from your mistakes, and you will have an advantage because you know what went wrong and you have some assets to still use, such as home equity, for example. That's business 101. Now the next best thing you can invest in college is your time. The biggest waste of time that I had in college was spent playing video games, and I really wish I got out more. When I was in college, I had the ability to take classes remotely from anywhere in America. I turned down the chance to travel the country, see all the states, with my friends who were also learning remotely, and I wish I would just do it because I would have something to talk about and come up with so many interesting ideas. Hey, you went to Venice? Well, how do they build the canals? Just interesting facts like that can make you more creative and help you invent things later in your life. That's one of the biggest critiques I have of the American school system, is you are grounded to a spot and all of your time is tied up in homework or school. There isn't time to travel, there isn't time to socialize, and there certainly isn't a way to get a secondary education that teaches you things that you would need to know day to day as an adult, like taxes. At least not without exhausting yourself completely and having a mental breakdown. I didn't care much for statistics until after I had taught myself to code. That's what inspired me to pay attention in class. I didn't care about accounting until I was working with a businessman. And school can certainly drive you insane, but not as insane as school when you're staying at home every day of the year playing video games. On a somewhat different note, I was the kind of guy you didn't spend money in college. I prided myself on saving every dollar, investing it, and working that extra shift just to save and invest more money. Not that that's a bad thing, especially with tuition being so high. It's almost impossible not to take out student loans. What I would have done differently is set aside just $100, maybe a couple $100 every month to spend doing things besides school and work. I know for a fact I would have been more successful. No, I'm not telling you to buy a TV right now, but instead invest your money in your ideas and your dreams, because America does not have enough of them. We are declining in innovation and education. I'm not a politician or associated with any political organization, but that's just my opinion. Every month seems like a new worldwide disaster, and from my experience, it's very easy to become isolated from each other. But we need each other, so go to a bar. Take a road trip to Yosemite. Apply to the fraternity of your dreams. Our problems are a societal problem, and they likely can't be fixed without a better government and a new system. But until then, our next best thing is you. Invest your money in your creative ideas and build a better future. But what do you think? Is there a better way to invest your money as a college student? Also, if you like watching videos like these, please hit like and subscribe and continue watching the next video. Thank you.